Hello, my artists. Today we're doing step 4, so third grade, that's our Shape Monsters Intro to Supplies. What you're going to need today is your fancy paper for your background. You got that rough draft checked by me. You got your fancy paper, and you got your first name, last name, grade, table color on that paper. Then, what colors do you want your shapes to be? You're going to pick out some colors of construction paper. We're going to grab about 2 papers at a time because we can always share with our friends at our table or go out and trade out new colors back at the supply table. You're going to start cutting out your shapes. Garbage goes into the buckets at the table. Those are going to be your tiny little cutouts. From there, you're going to start gluing your monsters together. You're going to cut and glue one shape at a time. We don't want your pieces to go missing. So make sure every time you cut out a piece, you glue that down. Scraps go to the bucket at the supply table. Since we're using wet glue today, we need to be careful in that we're not using too much. We're going to use about 1 dot at a time for our glue because we don't want it to get gross, wet, and sticky. Since that's done, we're going to take that and then put our projects on the drying rack. We're going to load them to a shelf, bottom up. So we got our fancy paper. We have our rough draft finished with our drawing on there. We're going to flip it over and start working on our project. Start adding everything that we need to, cutting out a piece at a time, checking back and forth to see what is missing. I know if you look at my rough draft, I don't have my shape in the middle of this monster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some construction paper to cut out. I got a nice purple here that I can reuse. And what I'm going to do to get my shape is start by drawing my shape that I'm going to use. So I got a star. I'm staying over to the side so I don't waste paper. And I'm drawing a nice big star, the shape that I want. It's okay that you can see the insides of it because we're going to glue pencil side down. So once it's drawn, you're going to get your scissors and you're going to cut out close to the shape so that way you're not missing anything. So like I said, we're going close because we don't want to waste any of the paper. We're going to leave some for people to use later. Once this is done, I can set my out of the side and I'm going to cut out the rest of it. All right, I got my star cut out. So now what I need to do is glue it onto my project. So I'm going to bring my project in front of me, making sure I have the placement where I want it. And I'm gluing pencil side down so you can't see any of my pencil marks. So what I'm going to do is do a dot of glue or a couple dots, nothing too crazy. I don't want it wet and sticky. So take it and you're gluing it down. Now that I have my shape on there, I can go through and I can cut out my next shape. If I need to push it down, I can use my pencil so that way my hands aren't getting messy. If I get glue on my fingers, I can rub my hands together and get the glue to come off, and then we can just sweep it off the floor. Or I can even use my scrap papers to wipe my fingers. If I'm wearing an apron, I can wipe it on my apron. Whatever you need to do to be successful. All right, my artists, get cutting, get your shapes going, and let me know if you need help. All right, get working.